A new Jetta already? Volkswagen India has just rolled out the new engines for the Jetta and its Passat, retiring the pumped-use motors in favor of the new common rail diesels. Volkswagen Group has been one of the smartest manufacturers when it comes to developing platforms, sharing the technology across the brands, and giving the cars the aggregates they need to feel distinct and different. And today, we don't just have one car, we also have the LoRa with the same engine. But where is the LoRa? Well, Sandeep couldn't wait, so he's already out driving, and I'm going to get in my car and go find him. And today, we're going to establish which of these is the better buy.
Now this car needs no introduction. Internationally, it's the new Octavia, but since India is one of the few markets where the old Octavia continues to be sold, in India it's the LoRa. It's a car that the Overdrive team likes a lot, but until now if you wanted to buy it in a diesel, you only had the option of the Volkswagen Group's pump-use diesel engines. Now the pump-use engines are very frugal, but they're also noisy and tend to be peaky, which make them difficult to drive. So all of us at some point or the other have clamored for Škoda to put a proper common rail diesel engine into this car. Well, that engine is finally here, and it's the same engine that's in the Jetta that Shumi is driving behind me.
The engines in the Jetta and the manual LoRa are identical, with 110 PS of power and 250 Newton meters of torque on offer. However, we have the LoRa Automatic, which brings a higher state of tune to the same engine. The LoRa I'm driving makes 30 PS more, as well as 70 Newton meters of extra torque, and that makes a big difference to the performance. The LoRa is comprehensively quicker than the Jetta on all parameters and by as much as 3 seconds on the sprint to 100. And of course, the DSG gearbox in the LoRa makes its presence felt.
Now if you've been watching the show, you know we're big fans of Volkswagen's DSG gearbox. It's a twin-clutch automatic and it's absolutely fabulous. Effortless and frugal when you're pottering around in the city, and when you want to put your foot down, it's almost always in the right gear as you enter the corner and exit. Absolutely superb. Did I just say superb? Oops, wrong car.
It's ironic that the Volkswagen, the Jetta, doesn't get the DSG gearbox anymore, whereas the Škoda gets both the manual and the DSG. But I'm driving this manual for the first time and I have to say, I like it. The shift quality is a little heavy, but it's positive, and when you're trying to go quickly, it doesn't get in your way. And I think that's how it should be.
But surprise, surprise, in economy terms, the DSG gearbox trumps the manual, posting marginally better numbers in the LoRa. The LoRa is also a sweet car to drive in terms of dynamics. It rides a bit stiffly, but does bad roads really well, and the handling is pretty interesting too.
Ask any driving enthusiast, and they'll tell you that the LoRa is one of the most fun to drive front-wheel drive cars you can buy in India today. Especially with that TSI engine, it's absolutely fabulous. When Shirish had the LoRa TSI on long-term test, we've all tried to sneak it away from him as often as possible to go out and drive.
But as good as the LoRa is, it just doesn't compare favorably to the Jetta, and here's why.
When it comes to dynamics, the Jetta's hallmark is balance. Is this the car that rides better here? It is. Is this the car that handles better here? It is. But is that why it's better? No, it's because it finds the balance between the two things. Good roads, glide. Bad roads, smooth. Around corners, planted and confident. That's why the Jetta is so nice. Because it does everything you ask for, the way you think it should be done. Now that we've passed the differences in performance and dynamics, let's see what it's like to be inside both of these cars.
Now if I had to use just one word to describe the LoRa's interiors, that word would be nice. It has a good mix of black, beige and wood trim. Everything just feels very elegant and classy. There are a few misses however, like the lack of steering wheel mounted audio controls, but overall this is a very premium, very quality cabin.
The Jetta interior hasn't really changed that much in the update, so I'm going to spend a little time explaining how Volkswagen have ensured that your perception of this cabin is more premium than the LoRa's. What it does is do a lot of small bits that work really well. For instance, I have a touchscreen music system which you only get on the Superb among the Skodas. I have an air conditioning layout that is also similar to the Superb. I have steering wheel controls. The LoRa doesn't get those. These indicators, they look the same as the LoRa's, but they feel a little smoother to operate somehow. The mirrors outside, shift it into reverse and the car folds them down and helps you reverse. It's these small touches that make the car feel so much more premium than the LoRa. Is it actually that much more premium? Perhaps not, but then perception is the final reality, no?
Styling is usually a sticky wicket. The LoRa has an interesting styling package that can polarize opinion. The Jetta, on the other hand, plays it safer, offering a robust, typically Volkswagen look against the LoRa's more involved design. From the rear, the Jetta looks distinctly premium thanks to the LED tail lamps and the bold logo. But from all other angles, the difference is largely one of taste, and that is a rather personal choice.
Can you make out the difference? Well, it's almost like that with the cars as well. And that's why, despite the fact that we hate doing this on Overdrive, I'm going to tell you that there are no losers in this test. You can buy either of these cars and you will not be saddled with a lemon.
Having said that, there are just enough differences for me to tell you confidently that we have a clear winner. The LoRa with the DSG automatic gearbox and roughly the same features as the Jetta is 50,000 rupees cheaper. Not a big enough difference? Consider the manual version of this car. You stand to save 1.5 lakh rupees, which is roughly 10% of the value of this car. Now that kind of a price difference can be hard to justify.
But who will buy the Jetta? Well, there's no hiding from the fact that the Jetta is the better car here. It rides better, it handles better, it's got more interior room, and this being Volkswagen, it has a whole host of little touches that do definitely make it a more premium car.
But premium in India has to play subservient roles to value for money. And that's what the LoRa brings to the table. It's almost the same car, but it's value for money. And that's why it's our clear winner.